The illusion of progress, why Black women's success stories don't tell the full truth. Good morning, everyone. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Camille Watson, whose groundbreaking work in economic equity has transformed how we understand success for Black women entrepreneurs. Camille isn't just a researcher or advocate, she's a visionary who has dedicated her life to uncovering the hidden truths behind our most cherished narratives about progress. Her fearless commitment to looking beyond the headlines has changed countless lives and challenged institutions to confront uncomfortable realities. Today, I'm going to share the profound insights from our conversation, insights that challenge what we think we know about progress, resilience, and what true equity looks like in America. Let me start with something that might surprise you. We've all seen the headlines celebrating Black women as the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in America. We've watched as powerful Black women have risen to unprecedented heights in business, politics, and culture. These success stories are real, important, and worth celebrating. But here's what Camille Watson helped me understand. These success stories, as inspiring as they are, have created a dangerous illusion. The illusion is that individual triumphs signal systemic change, that exceptional achievements mean the playing field is leveling, that visibility equals equity. The data tells a different story. Despite record numbers of Black women starting businesses and advancing into leadership roles, their unemployment rate has risen significantly in 2025, climbing to 6.5%, nearly double that of white women. This is happening even as overall economic indicators appear strong. Think about that for a moment. More Black women own businesses than ever before, alongside rising unemployment for Black women as a group. More visibility than ever before, alongside persistent economic vulnerability. This isn't just a contradiction, it's a revelation about how progress works or doesn't work in America. Progress does not equal parity, visibility does not equal equity. Individual success stories, as important as they are, don't automatically translate to collective advancement. This insight from Camille Watson fundamentally challenges how we think about success, progress, and what it takes to create lasting change. It asks us to look beyond the inspiring headlines to the systems and structures that continue to shape economic outcomes. Let me share three key insights from our conversation that help explain this phenomenon. First, progress does not equal parity. While Black women have made historic gains in entrepreneurship, owning more businesses than ever before, their economic security remains threatened by systemic inequities. Rising unemployment rates, even amid a strong economy, reveal persistent barriers that headline success stories often mask. Second, community support systems are essential. The most successful Black women entrepreneurs leverage networks, mentorship programs, and advocacy organizations tailored specifically for them. These systems help counteract isolation and provide critical resources for growth that the mainstream business ecosystem often fails to deliver. Third, policy change matters. Advances like the Equal Pay Act and Title VII created legal frameworks for equality, but they must be paired with ongoing reforms like family friendly workplace policies to address the challenges faced by today's professionals. Let me illustrate these insights with some powerful examples that Camille Watson shared during our interview. Consider Walker's Legacy, a national professional collective founded by Natalie Madeira Cofield to empower multicultural women entrepreneurs. Cofield launched this organization after recognizing a critical gap in culturally relevant support networks while building her own ventures. Many members of Walker's legacy faced limited access to capital and mentorship due to systemic bias. The organization responded by offering business education workshops, networking events, pitch competitions, and direct connections with investors. The results? Members reported increased revenue streams. Several secured angel investments after participating in pitch events. What began as local meetups grew into a national network serving thousands across major U.S. cities. Walker's legacy didn't just help individual entrepreneurs succeed, it helped normalize Black female entrepreneurship within mainstream business circles while directly increasing access to funding opportunities. It created a community where isolation, a major barrier for Black women entrepreneurs, could be overcome through collective support. Or consider Blavity Inc., founded by Morgan DeBaun in 2014. This media tech company centered on empowering Black millennials through content creation platforms like Afrotech faced skepticism from investors unfamiliar with culturally specific digital markets. They struggled initially with monetization strategies targeting underserved audiences. DeBon started Blavity out of frustration at mainstream media's lack of authentic representation. She built robust communities around niche content verticals, leveraged social media virality for organic growth, and prioritized diverse hiring internally. Today, Blavity is one of the fastest growing digital media companies targeting young Black professionals. They've raised over $12 million in venture funding since inception and launched Afrotech Conference, now the largest US based conference focused on African American tech innovation. Blavity didn't just build a successful company, it influenced greater investor interest in minority led startups and inspired other founders facing similar barriers. It created an ecosystem where success could be shared and multiplied. Perhaps most telling is the story of the Fearless Fund, co founded by Ari and Simone, specifically by women of color for women of color. This fund invests exclusively in businesses led by women of color founders at early stages, addressing perhaps the most significant barrier facing aspiring entrepreneurs from these communities. The statistics are stark. BIPOC female founders routinely receive less than 1% of all venture capital investments, despite high rates of new business formation. The Fearless Fund provides direct seed funding, plus operational guidance and mentorship tailored uniquely towards overcoming structural VC biases. Since its launch, the fund has invested millions across dozens of startups, including health tech firm Partake Foods, which have gone on to raise follow on rounds and scale nationally. Arian Simone and her co founders were serial entrepreneurs who experienced firsthand VC exclusion and wanted permanent change via institutional investment vehicles. The Fearless Fund became one of only a handful dedicated solely toward WOC founders and catalyzed broader conversations about equity within startup finance circles. It set precedents prompting larger funds and firms to reevaluate diversity practices and inspired similar initiatives globally. These stories reveal something profound about what real progress looks like. It's not just about individual success stories, though those matter. It's about building systems, communities, and institutions that can sustain and multiply success across communities. This brings me back to the central insight from my conversation with Camille Watson, the illusion of progress. We celebrate individual success stories, as we should, but often mistake them for systemic change. We point to exceptional achievements as evidence that barriers have fallen, when in fact, those achievements often come despite persistent barriers. The truth is more complex and more challenging. Black women entrepreneurs are succeeding at historic rates, yet, as a group, Black women remain economically vulnerable. Both realities exist simultaneously, both demand our attention. What does this mean for how we think about progress, success, and equity? It means we need to look beyond individual success stories to the systems and structures that shape economic outcomes. It means we need to build and support community based solutions that can help more people access opportunities. It means we need policy changes that address persistent barriers. It also means we need to redefine what success looks like. Is success just about individual achievement, or is it about creating conditions where everyone has a fair shot at thriving? As Camille Watson emphasized in our conversation, the most successful Black women entrepreneurs don't just focus on their own advancement, they build communities, mentor others, advocate for policy changes, and create institutions that can sustain progress over time. They understand that true progress isn't just about breaking through barriers yourself, it's about dismantling those barriers so others don't have to face them. This perspective challenges us to think differently about our own roles in creating change. It's not enough to celebrate success stories or even to support individual entrepreneurs. We need to address the systems and structures that create unequal outcomes in the first place. So I ask you today, will you continue to be satisfied with the comfortable illusion of progress? Will you keep celebrating exceptional success stories while ignoring the persistent barriers that make those stories exceptional in the first place? Or will you join the real work of transformation? Will you commit to building systems, supporting communities, and advocating for policies that can create true equity? The choice is yours. But know this: every time we mistake individual success for systemic change, we perpetuate the very inequities we claim to oppose. Every time we celebrate visibility without demanding equity, we strengthen the illusion that keeps true progress at bay. The illusion of progress is powerful, but the truth is more powerful still. And the truth is this: we don't need more exceptional success stories. We need to build a world where success isn't exceptional, where it's accessible to all. That's the challenge before us. Not just to break through barriers, but to dismantle them. Not just to achieve success, but to redefine it. Not just to celebrate progress, but to create it. The time for illusions is over. The time for transformation is now. What will you do today to make it happen? Thank you.